And then you click apply and it will change all that for you. Some other stuff over here is like, I think it's cost per gigajoule. And you can pick for your electricity and your cooling water, just different costs. Do you guys have a question?
What?
What? So on your user options, basically what you can do is you can update your units, or you change your hours of operating per year, and you can change your cost for the following settings this way. You also have down here like equipment efficiencies. You can manually change that too if you know, like maybe if you have a pump that's more efficient than a standard pump, then you can change that. The next thing that I suggest that you go do is you use the equipment summary. So when you go to add equipment, it's going to let you choose an equipment type. And you have several different types on here. Now, some of our systems, like the biodiesel or the municipal waste, and even the ethane cracking, you're going to have some pretty custom materials that you can go to user define. And it lets you add an equipment description and cost. And so you can do it that way. So after you add your equipment, it just gives you a little description down here, and you can customize some of your stuff. Like for the centrifuge, you can say it has a diameter of 1 meter and how many spares you want to purchase. And it tells you the equipment cost and the bare module cost. And so as you add your equipment, the total module cost will change down here. And you want to do the next one?
Sure. And the next page here is the utility summary. And on this page, it lists the equipment from the last page here, with the centrifuge, compressor, conveyor. And it gives you a total module cost and a grassroots cost. Here, let's add an equipment that has a default utility type. What was the ones they used? Let's try heat exchangers. Do like a double pipe. You can click on different types here, like a carbon steel and maximum pressure. Heat transfer area, I don't know, 150. And if you hit, no, did it anyway?
Yeah, you can change it down here. Just change that to 10 too.
Was it 10?
Yeah, change. And it should work.
Yeah, there's a lot of maximum and minimums on a lot of equipment, but if you play around, you'll find those. But if you go back to utility summary, like this one has an unspecified utility use, and you can click on it, and you can do like a cooling heat exchanger or a heat exchanger. And you click heating, it gives you different type of options here for like low pressure. We'll just go with medium pressure. And I don't know, I haven't looked into a lot of these. But then I didn't put in the amount of energy for the year, but I don't know, let me change it. We'll do like 1,000. It gives you a usage for the year, megajoules, or well, this is megajoules per hour. If you change your user preference, user options per year. And the next tab here is the cost of manufacturing. And on this one is you can add your materials, and let's add a thing. Add something here. Do a raw material stream. We call it methanol. Buying price, I don't know, 50 cents per kilogram, maybe 100 kilograms per hour. That's what that does. And it pops up here and it gives you an annual cost for the methanol in your system. And down below this is the first box is the economic options. You can type in the cost of land. It has $2 million already there. We'll just use that. Annual interest rate, 6%. You can change 10%, whatever that is. And once you get to salvage value down here, it gives you options to put in the what is that?
It called the grassroots cost, and I looked that up, and I really couldn't find I didn't really know what that was.
It's initial capital costs with like
Oh.
land and everything included. Like as if you're building from the ground up, you just purchase the land.
See, it already has some numbers in here when you click on it. It changes as you click, so.
And you can also input, a lot of these have inputs if you want to specify exactly what, if you know the price.
And then you can calculate your revenue from material table. So a lot of these are different options, and if you're unsure, you can click and it'll give you some suggestions or some calculations based on your current input, or you can manually change it into what you want. So on the salvage value, it will do a calculation for you. I think you can go ahead and enter that manually if you know, like 10 years from now, your equipment will be worth this much money. You just input it. The things you can change, though, are, as Chris said, the cost of land. That wasn't the number that came standard with the spreadsheet. I was just Googling some stuff, seeing how much the land cost in Chattanooga, and picked some acres. On the taxation rate, it had a number in there already. As a company, you're going to be in a different tax bracket, and you might want to look up and see if you can find tax discounts if you have something that's considered an alternative energy. And then this annual interest tax rate, I just picked that up off the TVA website. So certain energy companies you can use, you can input a different tax rate or an annual interest rate there. I want to talk about the total module factor. On the total model factors, most of the time when I was working with the spreadsheet, I just left them the same. I figured they would be standard, and you could just leave them the way they were. And the next one, in the next block, like your economic information, as it says, it's calculate for you. The stuff it'll calculate. I was trying to. And then, so it talks about also your factors used in calculation. So it has some stuff down here, and you can input like the multiplying factor. You can input for the same one down here, and
That's the working.
oh, we got a note in here. Someone, J. Weaver, typed in, so this is a typo. That comes in your standard spreadsheet. You may have some little notes in there. I didn't notice that one before.
Cost of labor, cost of utilities, cost of working.
Okay. Then you have like your project life, years after startup, so you can put in, if you think your plant's going construction period, if you think it's going to last 3 years, you can put that, and you can say, well, I think my project's going to last 20 years. And it'll change for you, and it'll change some of your calculations based on that. It's a distribution of fixed capital investment. So right here gives you a little note, say must sum to 1. So based on some calculations, if you think that you'll have more than 40%, you can change that. So project life 20 years, and it has right down here, you can change that if you want to, maybe 50, and then change this to 20. And it'll change some of your calculations after that. The next material is your cash flow diagram, and you click on this button and you say, do you want to do discounted or non-discounted? So click non-discounted if you want. Do you want to show a single investment, or do you want to show multiple investments? And then it talks about depreciation methods. Do you want to, this is an accounting term, and depreciation is imaginary and it's a gift. So if you want, you can say it's 10 years.
I think 5 years is what they standard.
Oh, standard. So if you want to do the standard, it's 5 years, or you can do a straight line depreciation. And so from there, your cash flow diagram, as long as you click the generate cash flow diagram, it'll regenerate for you, and it'll show you your project value over your project life.
We didn't have any revenue, so straight drop.
Worst project ever.
We only lose $70, or was that 70 million?
How many millions? Crap. They said millions of dollars.
Oh, $70 million we're in the hole.
Let's keep getting worse.
Don't show that to your management.
What if you had no revenue?
Yeah, if you manually type in a revenue per year.
Do you want to talk about the Monte Carlo one?
I can try. I was a little.
I was a little disappointed.
Skip that for now.
Oh, okay, good. And so then you have this is just a spreadsheet that it pulls from. So this is just your final spreadsheet, and it pulls the different your K factors and like your V min and max. If you know something about your different equipment, you can change this manually. But I just left it standard and assumed their values were good to go. But it's really user friendly. You're probably, because our systems are unique, you probably will have to define your own type of equipment.